Hi everybody, Emily here for Bramble Fox. I am sharing today a layout with you where I used the little super cute strawberries and cherries perspectives. I fell in love with them when I saw them on the website, and I was fortunate enough to get them sent to me as part of my DT pack. So I decided to play with them and make a super sweet, super cute layout. I cracked open my first kit from Felicity Jane, and I thought the sweetness and cuteness between the perspectives and the paper were working really, really well together, so I thought it would be a perfect match. I decided to back this cut file from HipKit Club, so any members of the HipKit Club can get those cut files for free. They're exclusive to the members, and I decided to back this little number with my Felicity Jane papers. So the fastest way for me to back a cut file is simply to trace inside the cut file onto the paper and then to cut it by hand. Fastest, I don't know if it is the fastest. You could always cut it on your die cutting machine, but I like to see and do it as I go along, so that's why I do it by hand. I then chose this little pink pattern paper, so it's got very, very fine white drawings of flowers on it, which is a bit difficult to see on this video or even on some of the photos, but if you look close enough you'll see that it has a very light pattern to it. I looked through several of the papers and I thought this was the paper that would work the best with the cut file and how I had backed it up color wise. I thought it's what would clash the least. And so I'm mounting it all on sticky foam pads to add some volume. I decided to raise the cut file rather than glue it directly onto my background, and it creates that little extra layer and that little extra volume that I do like to see on my layouts. I placed the cut file on the left side of the layout because I thought it called for it to be placed on that side, just as so. And I am now trimming my photograph and playing around to see where is best for me to place it and where I'm happiest for it to fit. The Felicity Jane kit last month, came with some vellum Polaroid frame that were patterned, and I think they're super cute and super sweet, and I wanted to use them on my page. However, I do not like the fact that you can see the edges of the photos through it and you kind of lose the frame, so I decided to mount it onto some white cardstock so I wouldn't lose the contrast of it and the shape of it. However, when you see the layout in person, it does keep that soft effect of the vellum, and I really like that type of texture that it adds, even though it's mounted onto some cardstock. I didn't fully glue it so that it would still remain a little bit loose, and it would still have a bit of a lighter look to it. I didn't want to lose that completely, but yeah, I glued it in some parts so that it would be solid, but yet it would still keep that effect and that texture of the vellum. I am then mounting the frame onto my photograph, directly onto the photograph with double-sided sticky foam pads. I wanted the frame to be raised above the photograph rather than glued directly onto my photo. I thought it gave almost a photo box kind of feel, and I really like that. I like that difference of volumes, and I think it just adds a little cute and nice detail to it. I am then placing my photograph where I want it onto my layout, and decide to go onto the right hand side of my cut file, and I glue it directly with double-sided sticky tape. I decide that there's no need for any extra volume on that front. I lift a little bit of the cut file to place the photograph behind it, and then I'll remove a couple of the sticky foam pads that were underneath the cut file that fell onto the photograph, just to level it all up. Now that I'm happy with how my photograph and my cut files are laid down, I'm looking at the fun part of embellishing my page. I'm looking at some sticky foam pads, sticky foamy embellishments from Felicity Jane. And I'm also looking at the ephemeras and die cuts, and mixing it with the perspectives. I really think that the colors of those perspectives really go well with this collection, and it just all complement each other really nicely. So I'm playing around with finding out where I'm gonna put what exactly on my page so that it makes sense, and also so that it's all looking cute and pretty. As I always do, once I'm happy with the placement of one element or a couple of elements or a cluster, I glue it down immediately, because I know the way I create. Even if I wasn't to glue it down straight away, chances are down the line this is where it's going to go. When I'm happy with the placement of one element, it's rare that later on I need to move it. So yeah, I tend to glue it straight away, and and put it in place. I've been mixing, gluing it down straight onto the layout or mounting it on sticky foam pads, just to create different levels and different height on all my Leo elements. I reached a point when I'm just moving things around, so I switched off my camera and gave my desk a bit of a clean and start again, just to finish it off, because I knew my layout wasn't quite finished, but I couldn't work out what was missing. And sometimes just getting rid of all the clutter around at the desk, that clutter that builds up as you create a layout, it just helps to see things a little bit more clearly. And then I was able to move forward with my layout. If you wanted to lift this layout and create your own version, it's quite a quick and easy layout to put together. The whole creative process for me for this layout only took under 2 hours, and that's with a lot of faffing and stop-start and running upstairs to sort out Sophia. So I think if you were to lift it, it's a layout you could easily complete in an hour or less. So give it a go, and I'm sure you would enjoy it. I'm adding some journaling there to tell a bit of the story. I'm still not the best at journaling and opening up or anything like that, so I just stuck to the story of where that photo was taken and what we were doing, and explaining what was happening here and there. And off camera I added a few little splatter of black India ink, and there you go. Here's my finished layout. I hope you enjoyed this process video. I hope you enjoyed looking at how it came together. Please leave any comments and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.